Hello everyone, let us see the continuation of the topic atomic structure. Let us discuss today two important terms present in case of atomic structure. One is orbit, other one is called as orbital. Orbit and orbital. These are the two important technical terms. Let us see some informations about that for competitive examinations. Let us see first orbit. So this orbit is also called one more name shell or another name stationary state. Stationary state, shell or a stationary state. It is also called another name that is energy level. Energy level. So these are the other names for the orbit, and this term is introduced by Niels Bohr in his Bohr's atomic model. So this is the one term observed from atomic model. What is this orbit or a shell or energy level? This tells about the region of electron where it revolves around the nucleus. It is a region where the electrons revolve around the nucleus in a circular path. So that is the condition observed in case of an orbit. So orbit is the region where electrons are revolved around the nucleus in the circular path. Let us say, according to Bohr's atomic model, nucleus is present at the center where proton and neutrons are observed, plus nothing but charge shown by the proton, but neutron shows zero charge. So this is the one shell where electrons are revolved. Let us say first shell, and this is the next shell, or where electrons are revolved, and this is the third shell. Like that, continuously it will go. We have n number of shells or orbit. So first orbit, second orbit, third orbit, like that. How many? We have n number of orbit or n number of shells or a stationary state or energy levels also. So this is just like a circular path, movement of electrons. And about their radius, velocity, energy of the electron and differential already observed in the previous video. So that represents the orbits. As well as orbits, maybe it carries value that is represented n. N is the symbol for the orbit or a shell or a stationary or an energy level. It takes value either 1 or a 2 or 3 up to it is infinitely many number of shells one can find. Number of shells present are infinitely shell. And first shell is nothing but K shell, second shell nothing but L, third shell nothing but M, like that it will go. So far we have an atom with atomic number 180, that last electron accommodated in 7th shell. Up to we use 7th shell, not more than that. Okay, so that tells about the orbit, that's all. But in case of an orbital, this is observed from quantum theory. Okay, it is observed from quantum theory or quantum numbers. And it says that it tells about probability of finding electron density. It is a region where probability of finding electron density is found to be maximum. So this is basically three-dimensional region. So it is a 3D region where probability of finding electron density found to be maximum. What is the meaning of probability? Probable, every electrons region observed in that particular point. So the finding electron density is found to be maximum. That tells about the orbital. So this is from a quantum theory, or you can say quantum number. So orbitals, if you find, we have totally 4 orbitals. There are totally 4 orbitals one can find so far. Okay, they are one S orbital, next P orbital, next D orbital, after that one more F orbital. These are the symbol for some spectroscopic term. S stand for sharp, P stand for principal, D stand for diffuse, F stand for fundamental. But scientists are giving one more symbol, that is one more one more orbital, that is G. G stand for G red. But whatever the atom with atomic number 118 present, that electron maximum occupies in F, but G are not observed, but space is there. As is that, so far we use these 4 types of orbitals: S, P, D and F. And S stand for sharp, principal, diffuse and fundamental. Okay, and here it is observed that in case of our orbit, the number of electron can accommodate is found to be every orbit number of electron. In case of a first shell, we can accommodate 2 electron, and here it is in the second shell. We can find out the number of electrons accommodate is 8, like that. So 8 like that. It will go 2, 8, 8, 18, and then 18, like that. Number of electron can accommodate. But in case of an orbital, the maximum number of electrons. So maximum number of electrons that accommodate in each orbital. So in each orbital, that is found to be, always remember, it is 2. So the maximum number of electrons accommodate in each orbital, it is 2. But here not 2, more than 1 can find. But number of electrons accommodate in each orbital found to be, it is 2. And here observe that for every shell, how many orbitals are observed. So this is about the number of electrons. But if you find the number of orbitals in each shell, there is one relation n squared. So number of orbitals in each shell is found to be n squared. N square is the number of orbitals present in each shell, and then number of electrons in each shell are given by number of electrons. General formula: number of electrons in each shell is given by 2n square. So number of electrons in each shell is found to be 2n square. So n square is the number of orbitals in every shell. 2n square is the number of electrons present in every shell. So n square for orbital calculation, 2n square is for number of electrons calculation. So these are the variety orbitals one can observe. Now let us see more discussion regarding shape of that orbital, and that contains further division of orbitals, everything, and then about their nodes, everything one can find. Let us see the shapes of these orbitals. The first comes S orbital. It shows spherical shape. S orbital shows spherical shape. How it looks? Spherical, nothing but in all the 3 regions, X, Y, Z axis, that electrons probability finding density found to be more observed. So let us say this is the X axis, this is the Y axis, and this is the Z axis. And this is the region representation. This region represents the Y and Z axis, represent the spherical, or simply we can say this is the symbolic representation for S orbital. A probability of finding electron density maximum in all the 3 directions. And if you go for the P orbital, it shows a dumbbell shape. Dumbbell shape. So this is the shape for dumbbell. Okay, there are 2 lobes are present either side. Middle there is a small vacant or empty region one can find. So here observe that this dumbbell shape present a particular direction. Either it may be X axis, or it may be Y axis, or it may be Z axis. So this dumbbell may be either X, Y, or a Z axis. So if the dumbbell present along X axis, then it is considered as a Px orbital. If the dumbbell present along Y axis, then it is considered as a Py orbital. And if it is present Z axis, then it is called Pz orbital. As result, P orbitals are of 3 categories: Px, Py, or a Pz, depending on the direction of the direction of that lobe present. If the direction of the lobe along X axis, Px; if it is present Y axis, Py; if it is present Z axis, Pz. Or simply we can say dumbbell along X axis, Px orbital; dumbbell present along Y axis, that is considered as a Py orbital; dumbbell that is present along Z axis, then considered it has a Pz orbital. Consider S orbital of only one type, but if you go for P orbital, there are totally 3 categories: Px, Py, and Pz. So number of S orbitals are always 1, whereas number of P orbitals are found to be, it is 3. One Px, other one Py, other one Pz. Now let us go for D orbitals. Okay, and for D orbital it shows double dumbbell. Double dumbbell. Okay, there are 2 dumbbells one can find. Double dumbbell. So this is the one dumbbell, and this is the another dumbbell. Double dumbbell. And in this case, totally 5 orbitals one can find. 5 suborbitals depending on the direction. So I will write first dxy, and then dyz, then dzx, and one more dx square minus y square and then dz square. So these are the 5 d orbitals depending on the lobes present in particular axis. So dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square and dz square. So in out of these 5 d orbitals, dxy, dyz and dzx, first 3 are the lobe present between axes. What is the meaning of that? So this is the one dumbbell, this is another dumbbell. In case of a dxy, dyz, where the dumbbell present, these two dumbbell present between two axes, let us say dxy. So in case of dxy, the dumbbell present between x and y axis, not along the axis, between x and y axis. Similarly, dyz, if you consider dyz, the two dumbbells are present in between y and z axis. In between y and z axis. Between y and z, here there is a dumbbell. Between y and z, here there is another dumbbell. Similarly, one more, dy zx. So in case of the zx also, the two dumbbells are present between y and zx and z axis. Between x and z axis. So in case of dy xy, yz zx, the two dumbbells present between the two axes, not along the axis. But in case of dx square minus y square and dz square, so in case of dx square minus y square at the same time dz square, where the two dumbbells present along the axis, over the axis. Let us see. So this is the d orbital, one dumbbell, another one. So this dumbbell along x-axis, this is along y-axis. Okay, so here can you find the difference between these two? Here the two lobes present along the axis, but here the two lobes present in between the axis. And in case of dz square, the two lobes overlap or perpendicular to each other along same axis. So this is the direction or a symbolic representation for dz square. So this is the one dumbbell along z axis, and this is perpendicular to that. So this is the symbolic representation for 5d orbital. Remember, totally 5d orbitals present. Double dumbbell is the shape for d orbital. So number of s orbitals are 1, p orbitals are 3, d orbitals are 5. But now coming to f orbital. If you go for f orbital, and this f orbital shows triple dumbbell. It shows triple dumbbell. That means 3 dumbbells are there. This is the one dumbbell, this is another dumbbell, this is another dumbbell. So here result while writing you find some complications or difficulties. As a result, in case of f orbital, totally we have 7 orbitals. So 7 different types are there. fxx, fxy, fyz, like that. As that for practical writing it is very difficult. So as well, we are not writing any structure for the f orbital or a shape for the f orbital. Just we say it shows triple dumbbell shape, and totally we have 7 orbitals. So it is conclude we can say s orbitals number present are only one s orbital present, but p orbitals are present totally 3. They are px, py and pz, and d orbitals are totally 5. dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square and dz square, and f orbitals are totally 7. So 1, 3, 5, 7. Easily you can remember 1, 3, 5, 7 are the number of orbitals. Suppose if g is there, then how much? 9. The next comes it is g, and then 9 g orbitals are there. But now we go with up to it is f, s to f orbital, s, p, d and f orbital. So this is regarding shape of an orbital. Let us see the next concepts of orbital, that is nodes. So what is this node basically? It tells about the region where probability of finding electron density is going to be 0. There is no electron occupied or a present in that particular region. So that is called as a node. So node is the region. It is the region of an orbital. It is the region of an orbital where probability of finding electron density. Probability of finding electron density is going to be density is going to be 0. So that region is nothing but it is a node. Okay. probability of finding electron density is 0, then that region of an orbital is nothing but it is a nodes. So there are totally two variety of nodes one can find. There are two types of nodes one can find for an orbital. One is spherical node. It is also called one more name radial node, or we can also say nodal surface. Okay, so spherical node or radial node or a nodal surface. Another one is the nodal plane, or we can say angular node. Nodal plane or an angular node. Okay, so these are the two categories one can find. So let us see what is this basically node. So I have a p orbital. So I have a p orbital. You know, p orbital is a dumbbell shape. So this is the region where probability of finding electron density is going to be maximum. Okay, this is the region from here to here. Probability of finding electron density maximum. That means more electrons are moving in this particular region. But this is the region where point observed, there probability of finding electron density is going to be minimum, or we can say 0. So this particular region, now it is called as a node. Clear? So node is the region where probability of finding electron density is going to be 0 also. So that particular point, now it is called as a node. And in case of a p orbital you find a node, but in case of a d orbital there are two dumbbells are there. Okay, there are two dumbbells are there. So here also we find a node. This is the node. Similarly for f orbital, totally 3 dumbbells are observed. Okay, this is the second dumbbell, third dumbbell. This is the node also. So for p orbitals, d orbital as well as for f orbital, there is a presence of a node. But if we go for s orbital, look at that, s orbital where probability of finding electron density one can find along x-axis as well as y-axis as well as along z-axis. As a result, in this case, there is no any probability finding density 0. As a result, for s orbital, we can't find any nodes. So 0 node observed for s orbital, but for p, d as well as f orbital, there is a presence of a node. And to find out the spherical node or a radial node or a nodal surface, we go with the simple formula. Number of spherical or a radial, or you can say nodal surface equal to n minus l minus 1, n minus l minus 1. Whereas for nodal plane or an angular node, we go with the relation that is n. Okay, we go with relation n. And if I add these two, we get total number of nodes, that is n minus l minus 1 plus n. So here it is minus l plus l cancels out. Left with the value n minus 1. So total number of nodes present in case of a orbital or orbitals present in a particular shell is exactly equal to n minus 1, where n stands for principal quantum number or a shell number. N stands for shell number. Here one new letter comes. So remember, n stands for shell number. Okay, or we can say it is an orbit. It is also called another name, principal quantum number. Okay, principal quantum number. So that tells about the shell number. It may be either 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Like observed in case of a Bose atomic theory, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity. But that L stands for subshell. Remember, L stands for subshell. Another name, azimuthal quantum number. Okay. For time being, this is enough. Subshell. N stands for shell number or an orbit or energy level, and L stands for subshell. So if you add N, if you use N and L values, then it is possible to find number of spherical as well as radial node. At the same time, it is angular node present. How to calculate? Remember here point, N value may be either 1, 2, 3 up to infinity. So far we use up to 7. But L value always fixed. Always remember, L equal to 0, that is for s orbital. L equal to 1, that is for p orbital or p shell, subshells, and L equal to 2 for d, and L equal to 3 for f. So this value you have to remember. This is one memory point you have to remember. So L value, if it is 0, that is stand for s orbitals. So orbit s orbital present in the shell, and and L equal to 1 for P, L equal to 2 for D orbital or a D subshell, and L equal to 3 for F orbital or F subshell. So using these L values and also above N value, it is possible to find out the number of nodes present in a particular stationary state in an orbital or a particular orbital. Let us go for the calculation of number of nodes, radial node as well as spherical or angular nodes present in a particular orbital. There are 4 examples are there in front of you. One is 1s, 2p, 4f and 3d. Like that orbitals are given. You have to find out the number of nodes, spherical node as well as angular node. Now the formula, number of nodes equal to n minus 1. Spherical node equal to n minus l minus 1. And angular node equal to n. So already I said n value is a shell number 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity, and L value is for a particular orbital we are going to display. For S orbital 0, P orbital 1, D orbital 2, F orbital is going to be it is 3, and for G orbital it is it is 4 also, but G orbital not necessary. Right. Let us calculate 1 by 1, 2, 3 is number given. And for the 1s orbital, remember this 1 stands for n. Okay, if 1s is mentioned or any orbital mentioned, that number displayed is nothing but n. So directly that number tells about the n value, and this s represent the l value. But l indirectly we have to find when l equal to s observed. If l equal to 0, then it forms for s orbital. As that in ns orbital, 1s orbital, n is 1, l equal to 0. Okay, and then if you go for the number of nodes, 1 minus n equal to 1, 1 minus 1 becomes 0. So number of nodes found to be 0 for 1s orbital. And already I said for s orbital it does not carry any node. Number of node is going to be 0 for s orbital. And if you go for the spherical node, n minus l minus 1. So n value is 1. And s value is going to be l value is going to be 0 and minus 1. That's that 1 minus 0 minus 1 nothing but again it is a 0. Okay. And then for the third it is angular node. Here l equal to 0. So here also it is 0. That means nodes 0, spherical and angular node are completely 0. Otherwise said now total number of node nothing but spherical node and angular node. So spherical node and angular node 0 nothing but sum of their node is 0. So wherever s orbital comes, it shows 0 as a number of node. Let us go for 2p. So in case of a 2p, if we find for 2p that 2 stands for n and then p indirectly tells about the l value. When l equal to p observed, if it carries 1 then it is a p orbital 1 can find. So here it is observed that number of node n minus 1, that is 2 minus 1 exactly equal to 1, that is 1 nodes present. And about the spherical node, 2 value n equal to minus 1 minus 1 exactly equal to 0. So number of spherical node is 0, 2 minus 2 equal to 0. But if you go for angular node, so l equal to 1. So number of angular node exactly equal to 1. As that 1 plus 0 equal to 1. So total number of node is 1. Spherical node is going to be 0, whereas angular node is going to be 1. Similarly, for 4f orbital, if you go for the 4f, where n is 4, whereas l value is, that is indirectly tells about the f value. So l equal to 2 for f, l equal to 3 for f orbital. Yes, then l equal to 3. Now add it here. n value is 4. If you go for node, 4 minus 1 equal to 3. So total number of nodes are 3, and spherical node is going to be 4 minus l value is 3 minus 1 exactly equal to 0. That means spherical node is going to be 0. But if you go for angular node, l equal to 3. So number of angular node is 3. That means in these 3 examples, number of spherical node is 0. But whatever the number of node observed and all those of angular node type. Next, if you go for the 3D orbitals, and then n value is going to be 3, n value 3, and then l value equal to 2, l equal to 2 for the orbitals. Now substitute here. So 3 minus 1, that is for node. So 3 minus 1, that is nothing but 2 nodes are there. And in that, how many are spherical and how many are angular? Let us see. For the spherical node, n minus l minus 1, n minus l minus 1. So where it is observed that here also it is going to be 0, and then L value it is going to be 2. So number of spherical node is going to be 0, whereas angular node is going to be T here. So maximum orbital that the number of spherical nodes are going to be 0 observed, but whatever the node observed, all those contributed from angular node. In this example, where spherical nodes calculated are going to be 0. Okay, like that it is possible to find number of nodes. Let us see very important aspects in case of the atomic structure, and also you learned in the lower classes electronic configuration. For all physical as well as chemical properties of element, so one of the important measurable property is electronic configuration. By knowing the electronic configuration, almost all type of chemical reactivity, stability, and their some of the physical properties like magnetic property, electrical property, conductivity, everything, stability, whether it carry positive charge or negative charge, and bonding, everything that is explained by electronic configurations. Now let us go for the electronic configuration, writing electronic configuration for different or important example. So here it is observed that electronic configuration is the arrangement of electrons in various orbitals with respect to their increasing order of energy. So we have variety of orbitals and their energy is going to be different. So what we do is, if a multi-electrons atoms present, say more than one electron if it is there, then how those electrons are accommodated in different orbitals. So that explained by the electronic configuration. So that arrangement can be done by electronic configuration. Suppose we have sodium, total number of electrons are 11. How these 11 electrons are occupied? In which orbital how many electrons are occupied? So that is explained by the electronic configuration. And let us go with that. So this is the basically arrangement of electrons in various orbitals with increasing order of energy, with respect to increasing order of energy. This is the point to be noted. Increasing order of energy. Okay. Increasing order of energy. And this statement itself is given by one rule called Aufbau rule. Aufbau rule. Aufbau principle or Aufbau rule. So based on this Aufbau rule, we are writing electrons or configuration with increasing order of their energy. So let us see the sequence of that. So you know, in case of a first shell, number of orbitals are found to be only one, and that is 1s orbital. But in second shell, totally 4 orbitals are there. You know, number of orbitals calculated by using formula n square, where n is the number of shell. First shell only 1 orbital, 1 square, nothing but 1s orbital. Second shell totally 4 orbitals are there. In that, 2s is the 1 orbital, and then 2px, 2py, 2pz. In general, 2p is the another orbital. Similarly, for the third shell, we have 3s, 3p, and 3d. Totally 5 d orbital, 3 p orbital, 1 s orbital. So as a result, totally 9 orbitals one can find in case of a third shell. And for the fourth shell, 4 square, nothing but 16 orbitals are there. And those are 4s orbital, 4p orbital, then 4d orbital, after that 4f orbital. 7 4f, 5 4d orbital, 3 4p orbital, 1 4s orbital. Totally we have 16 orbitals. Similarly, for the fifth shell we have 5s, 5p, 5d, like that goes. Similarly, 6 orbital, 6s, 6p, like that it will goes. Okay. And here we have to remember one sequence for writing electronic configuration. Remember, you know, according to Bohr's atomic model, if you move from first shell to the next shell, what about their energy? Energy value goes on increases. Second shell is more energetic compared to first shell. Fourth shell is more energetic compared to third and second shell. Similarly, sixth shell is more energetic compared to all other shells, but first shell is nothing but a ground state. Beyond that, there is no any shell. So this is the ground state, and 1s is the ground state orbital. Remember, 1s is the ground state orbital. And here we should remember one sequence. How to remember? There is one trick. Remember, first comes 1s orbital. Electron first occupies lower energy orbital, that is 1s. Okay, first occupies 1s, after filling that electron in oneness, next goes to next lower energy orbital, that is 2s. After 2s, next goes to 2p, then 3s. And after 3s, not 4s, now it goes to 3p. After 3p, then it is 4s. After 4s, not a 4p, not a 5s. Now lower energy, now it is 3d. 3d, then 4p and 5s. And after 5s, next goes to 4d, then 5p, then 6s. After 6s, that is 4f, 5d, 6p, then 7s. Like that it will go. So this is the increasing order of the energy of the different orbital. 1s, 2s, then 2p, 3s, then 3p, 4s, then 3d, 4p, 5s, then 4d, 5p, 6s, then 4f, 5d, 6p, then 7s, like that it will go. So as if you write it in a straight chain, so first 1s, then 2s, and then 2p, after the 2p, then it is 3s, then 3p, after 3p, then 4s, then 3d, after 3d, then 4p, 5s, 4p, 5s, like that it will continuously go. And here always remember, energy of 5s is more than 4p. This is the increasing order of energy. And 1s is now called as a ground state orbital. And first state, or a number 1, all this tells about the n value, principal quantum number or ratio value. The first shell is nothing but ground state. So electron always, according to our book principle, electron always occupies lower energy orbital first, and thereafter higher energy orbital with increasing order of energy. So that is a statement that is given by, or guidelines given by Bohr principle. Okay. And next point you should remember, in case of a s orbital, how many electron occupied? P orbital, how many electron? P orbital, maximum number of electron occupied, and also f orbital. So maximum number of electrons, you have to remember, occupies in this particular orbital. For s orbital, maximum 2, not more than that. And p orbital, 2 plus 2 plus 2. Why 2 go 3 times written? 2 electron in px, remaining 2 electron in py, remaining 2 electron in pz. So this is a 2 electron in px orbital, this is in py orbital, this is in pz. So totally 6 electron can accommodate in p orbitals. And then d orbital, 2 plus 2 plus, totally 5 times. Okay, so that means 10 electron can accommodate, and f orbital, 14 electron can accommodate. So maximum number of electron in s, 2 electron, p 6s electron, d 10 electron, and then 14 electron in case of a f orbital. So this is the point you have to remember. Okay, and another one is rule normally used while writing electronic configuration, that is Hund's rule. Hund's rules of maximum multiplicity. Maximum multiplicity. So here one question is arises, that is we have in case of a 2p orbital, totally 3 2p orbitals are there. One is 2px, other one is 2py, other one is 2pz. So after filling electron in 1s orbital, next electron goes to 2s orbital. And after filling electron in 2s orbital, next goes to 2p orbital. But you know, in the 2p, 3 orbitals are there, px, py, pz. Now the question is arises, which orbital first electron occupies? Whether 2pz, whether 2py or 2px. Remember, these orbitals having same energy. Okay. Similarly, after in case of a 3d orbital, in case of 3d, you also find same problem. 2p, 3p, as well as in case of 3d also you find same orbit, same that is problem. And in case of 3d, totally 5 orbitals are there. One is 3dxy, then 3dyz, then 3dxy, xz. Similarly, dx square minus y square, and one more it is 3d. And here also, after filling electron in 4s orbital, next goes to 3d. But totally 3d orbitals are 5. In which orbital it occupies? Remember, these orbitals having same energy. Okay, orbital having same energy. And which orbital occupies? That is guided by the Hund's law. It says that for equal energy orbital, these are equal energy orbitals. Remember, these are equal energy orbitals. So in case of the equal energy orbitals, first electron occupied simply one electron, then start pairing. Observe. First electron occupied singly, one. And if extra electron is there, then start a pair. Similarly here also, first one electron occupied, and if extra electron is there, then occupied singly first, then start a pair. Thus, in case of P, D, and also in case of F, first electron occupied singly, then start a pair. So that is given by Hund's law. For equal energy orbital, filling of electron first takes place singly, then start a pair. So this is the one second rule where we have to remember. Let us go for writing electronic configuration for few examples. So I have hydrogen, helium, carbon and thorium. What is the electronic configuration? First we have to write sequence. So 1s like that, 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s like that. But in hydrogen, number of electrons present only one. So atomic number is more important for writing electronic configuration. Since only one electron is present that occupies in 1s orbital, so it is 1s1. Electron occupied only in 1s orbital. It does not use any other orbital because only one electron is there. And in case of helium, 2 electrons are there, but s orbital can accommodate maximum 2, so that goes to the first shell itself. So 1s2 and 2s0. As there is no need to write this 2s0, as the electronic configuration for helium is 1s2. Next, carbon, atomic number of carbon is 6, that means 6 electrons are there, and out of which 2 electrons occupied in 1s lower energy orbital, then remaining 2 electrons in 2s low energy orbital. Next, how many electrons left? 2 electrons left, and those 2 electrons occupies in 2p orbital. Actually, this occupies 2px, 2py, then 2pz. This occupies 1, 2 what? Px1 and py1, and pz is 0. Actually, this is the correct configuration, but we are avoiding to write direction. We just write 2p2. Then for chlorine, 17 electrons are there. Atomic number is 17. So out of 17 electrons, 2 electrons in 1s, remaining 2 electrons in 2s, p electron totally. Since 17 more number is there, no need to singly occupied. Completely write the 6 electron, and totally 10 electron are written. Now 7 left, out of which 2 goes to the 3s, and remaining 5 goes to 3. And in this case also 3px, 3py and 3pz. 3pz here also first occupied singly, then 2 extra there, so pairing taking place in px and py, left with the pz. So as a result here it is 2px2, 2py2 and then 2pz1. This is actual configuration, but if you compress then we write 3p. So like that electronic configuration can be written for all 118 elements in the periodic table, but you should remember the atomic number and also this sequence for writing electronic configuration, followed by Aho principle and Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity.